bit of trouble getting online. Let's see, we'll present. Or here, I'll just screen share this one. And whoops, there we go. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, okay, great, thank you. All right, so here we are talking about AI to the rescue and local SEO. So local SEO is a little bit different than your normal SEO. And so we're going to go over some reasons why that is and how you can best set up your website for success. So a little bit about me. I've been doing this a long time. I've been involved in building websites and search engine optimization and digital marketing for it feels like ages. I'm a big fan of Arizona. I have lived here pretty much my entire life, and now I'm raising my kids here. If you ever need any advice on good places to eat, camping spots, hiking trails, I'm your gal. Please reach out to me. And so I'm really passionate about Arizona and the local economy here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, so AI has some pretty funny stuff going on, right? We can all agree that AI isn't always perfect. I thought this was pretty funny. It's a good reminder that AI isn't perfect, and you can't just expect to it to be your magic ball that it's going to fix everything and make your business, all your business dreams come true. So as you can see here, this was just output a couple of weeks ago, and it's kind of I feel like it's a good Halloween themed family picture. Clearly, AI still has some work to do on the image front. Thankfully, they're a lot better with the content. And so we're going to do mostly information about content tonight. But these are some tools that are really valuable for image creation. DALL-E, Midjourney, Adobe Firefly, Canva has a really great AI tool now. And then ClipDrop is one I just started playing with. A lot of fun. You can drop out backgrounds on pictures. If you've got a funny something in the foreground of a picture, you can pull it out and drop something else in. It's pretty magical. Photoshop also has a new AI version. So if you do have the Adobe Suite and Illustrator, they can do some really magical stuff with your photos and fix things up that would just take ages. You'd have to hire a professional in the past. So let's continue on here. Some AI news. You can now generate images in Google right there in the search bar. AI diagnoses brain tumor mid-surgery. I mean, this is pretty revolutionary. It's really amazing the changes that have come with AI. But there are some other news that maybe is not as positive. Bill Gates announces that AI is plateauing. He says that the next jump that goes to 5 is not going to be quite as exciting as the 2 to 3, they say 3/4, but it's 3.5 right now. So he's saying that it's a plateau. We shall see, right? Chatbots spreading racist medical myths. I mean, again, you really have to, it's not going to be your magic 8-ball. You really have to, you can use it as a tool, but just like any other tool, there are limitations to it, and you need to review like what's coming out of the AI tools that are available. So we're going to switch gears to local SEO. Local SEO stats. So 66% use Google to find out information about a business. I mean, that's a big number. It's really important to see that. The second most used tool for finding information about businesses is Google Maps. Consumers are using Google Maps to find business information. Then consumers, it says 62% of consumers would not use a business if they found incorrect information online. And they read reviews. 98% of people read reviews. Now, this is all referring to your Google business profile. Primary factors for local SEO stats are, is it relevant? Is it relevant to the searcher, what they're searching for? Is the distance within their proximity, right? And is it prominent to what they're searching for, what they're looking for, okay? The search results have gotten really smart. They know what the consumer wants. And so you need to make sure that all of your information is up to date and it's current on a regular basis. So today we're going to talk about local SEO. You can improve your search engine results in your area. It's perfect for businesses who primarily service local customers. It's less competition and more specific results. You can reduce your reliance on advertisement. Okay, we're going to talk about measurement, technical, content, links, and then we'll go over questions. So give me just a second, and I have a little quiz to present to you guys to give you something to do while I'm chatting. Let's see, that's my tools list. There we go. So on the next slide, I have, there we go. I have the quiz, and I am going to drop it in the chat bar to make it easier, or you can take a picture of the QR code. Let me pull this right here and find this chat bar. There we go. Make sure I'm sending it to everybody. So I'm going to throw it in here. Let me know if you guys can see that link. All right. So you can play along with the little quiz. It's going to give you a score on how well you know local SEO. And each of the questions go along with what I'm talking about tonight. And there we go. So measurement, okay? I'm sure you've heard what gets measured gets managed, right? You need to make sure that you have search engine measurement tools in place. More importantly than that, you need to decide what your goals are. You know, what is the purpose of your website? Why do you have it up there? I mean, how are you using it as a tool? You know, are you wanting the phone to ring? Are you wanting them to fill a form? Are you wanting them to schedule online? Do you want them to walk through your doors and purchase? So you need to decide what your goals are and then tailor your measurement tools towards those goals, okay? So that's very important, and that's step number one, really. And something to consider is some people will say, well, we don't need to know this information. We know this is working and we get word of mouth and everything's fine. Well, what about in 5 years or 10 years when you've grown? Don't you want to be able to look back and see what's working now and where you want to put your money? So it's really important to get these things in place. They're free tools. It is a little bit of a learning curve to get them set up onto your website. But once you have them set up, you can then go in and monitor what's going on. So conversions. Conversions are all about how are you converting that customer? So those goals. What is a conversion for your business? Be sure to answer that question. How do you measure these conversions? Is it measured by someone making a sale? Is it measured by someone making an appointment on your calendar? Is it someone downloading something off of your website? signing up for a course, etc. How are you getting conversions from your website? Again, you need to figure out, is it the phone call? Is it the form being filled out? Is it someone signing up for your email newsletter? So make sure you know how you're converting customers and what those goals are, and then you can set those up in Google Analytics. Again, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but there are some help topics online. There are people out there that can help you with that. Google Search Console. Love Google Search Console. It is such a great tool. It's free. It offers tons of insights on your website health, keywords, pages that are visited, errors that are being found on your website. You can then resubmit to Google when they do find these errors to say, please check that page again. We fixed the errors. It's a really great tool and a really important way to measure your website. So ideal end results, measuring your ideal end results is important to see if your online marketing is working. You want to see if where you're spending your money is actually getting results. So technical issues. This is pretty simple, but still something we need to address. Google monitors sites for technical issues. They want to present the best information in their search results. And if your website is full of errors, it is not authoritative content. It is not the best content out there, and somebody else is going to pop above you. So you need to make sure you're monitoring your website for technical issues. Like I mentioned, Google Search Console is a great way to monitor these technical issues. Manually monitoring your website for technical issues is a fine way to do it as well. Making sure your pages don't have broken links, even links outside of your website. If they're broken, it looks bad on you. So there are tools, especially for WordPress websites, there are tools that you can put in place in the backend that will constantly monitor any issues that might come up. There are other tools that you can put in place that third-party vendors have available, and those will keep an eye on your website and notify you. But that Google Search Console, they will also notify you, and you'll get an email right into your inbox. And I see your question there, Bevia Reeves. I will, at the end, I'm trying to move super fast, and at the end, we'll have a lot of Q&A, and we'll round table some information. So content. Okay, so I talked about authoritativeness in the last slide, I believe, or the slide before that. Content. Google came out with EAT a while back. Now this year they came out with an extra E. So now it's EEAT, and it stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Okay, so all of the content on your website is monitored with these factors involved, and current and relevant content is key to getting found in search engine results. Updating your content on a regular basis so that search engines know that you are active and you're an expert in your industry. So again, the expertise in EEAT is very important. I'm going to just pull up my notes here to make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, also content. You know, people talk about who is your customer. Figuring out your brand persona, you know, the persona who is consuming your content is really important, and that is a part creating that content. Okay, creating new content for your website signals to Google that you are an active business and authority in your industry. Using local area keywords lets Google know what area you service. Okay, so with local SEO, that's really important to show that you are in local areas in your service. I mean, Phoenix is large, and so we service a lot of different cities around the valley. Making sure that you have pages that reference that and content that references those cities is going to help you in your search results. Some tools that will help you with that is a tool called Ahref. And these are all free tools that there are plenty of paid tools out there that I can recommend as well. But Ahref, you can sign up for a free account. It will monitor your website. It'll give you suggestions on things you can do. It'll, give you some audit tools, information. It's a really great tool. They do have paid plans that will give you more information as well. Uber Suggest, another one. You can get a lot of spam from these guys, but they do have some really good keyword tools, and you can get a free account to help you create some keyword ideas and get, that brainstorming going on what you can create for your content. And then, of course, ChatGPT. Using AI can be a great resource to get that content flowing, give you some ideas. Again, I suggest, because there are issues with ChatGPT and the content that comes out of it, use it more as a guide to help you brainstorm and create maybe outlines and some content, but go through and give it your touch, give it your flow, and of course, review the content to make sure it represents your company. So content, we talked about using keywords, on local area keywords where you do business, including neighborhoods. This is especially important for real estate agents who specify, work in certain neighborhoods. Also for service individuals, service businesses that work in niche neighborhoods, Arcadia, that is a niche neighborhood. Awatuki, Anthem is technically not a city, it's a neighborhood. Service pages, dedicated pages for each service you offer, and a clear call to action. So that's really important. If you really want to move up in search engine ranking, you need to have dedicated pages for all of your services. It used to be that we'd lump all the services on one page and call it good, and not this are services, but you really need to find those out and build out individual pages for those for your local SEO results, and you will see better rankings when you have that. So AI content creation, you can use tools like ChatGPT to help create new content for your website. I have a whole list of resources I'm providing you at the end of the talk and at the end of the quiz that I gave you. And you can use a lot of those tools, and I'm rushing through it so that I can spend some time showing you the power of ChatGPT and some fun things you can do with it. So links are the fourth, you can call them pillars, the fourth pillar of your SEO strategy. Links you need to think of as like online networking, okay? So just like going to a networking event where you hand out a business card to somebody, this is how links work. And they're telling Google that they know you and that they trust you enough to give a link back to your business, okay? And you can do the same for other businesses. So you need to prioritize links from local businesses for local SEO purposes. A great way to do that is local newspapers. There's tons of little neighborhood newspapers. They are looking for content, and they're looking for information about the local community, and they'll give you a link in exchange for that content. So reaching out to them. Social media, of course, is helpful. Now, it's not a huge ranking factor, but it's definitely helpful, and it is part of that puzzle. Local Chamber of Commerce, industry connections, and of course, Local First Arizona. So Local First, everyone that is a member gets a link from their website to your business. And they also give a page with information about your business. So it's super important. It is a great value add to be a member of Local First Arizona. And then we're going to talk in depth about your Google Business Profile, because a Google Business Profile is a big part of local SEO. And it is really important to have claimed your Google Business Profile, have it completely up to date, have the right keywords on it that really describe your business, have pictures on it, and then make sure you get testimonials. That's a really big part of the Google Business Profile and local SEO. So think of links like online networking. Okay, so here we're talking about the Google Business Profile. So Google Business Profile is a quick win for your business. Many times Google will show your listing before your website. This creates credibility and shows customers your location, hours of operation, and how you do business. Other online directories pull information from your Google business profile, okay? So you need to make sure this is up to date. And of course, make sure when there are a lot of holidays coming up. If you're going to be closed on a holiday, update your Google business profile. Make sure it is up to date. If your hours have changed, make sure it's up to date. If somebody writes a testimonial, respond to it, especially if it's bad. But definitely all of your testimonials, your reviews, you should respond to. Thank people. You know, talk to people and create a conversation using your Google business profile. All of this gives signals to Google that you are an active business. So claim your Google business profile. So this is your homework. Claim your business profile, edit all the information, and add photos. Don't forget to keep your hours of operation up to date. Get reviews. Encourage customers to review your business. Now, don't just, when you get off this call, send the review link out to 100 people. Have them trickle in, you know, and trickling in and over time, and just have it part of your business process, part of your offboarding or the finish of your sales process. Make sure you're asking for a review on Google, and then respond to it. Maintain, update your photos monthly, add content about upcoming events, news, and new products and services. So your Google business profile does offer you an option to post, and just like you would on social media. And so be sure, if you have a new blog, if you have a new event, if you have a new product that came out, or you're at some special location for something, update your Google business profile with that information. Like I said on the slide before, or on the top of this slide, sometimes your Google, and a lot of times your Google business profile will come up before your website will come up in the search results. And definitely on the map, that's called the local pack. And the local pack result is that list of businesses that show up on the map. And oftentimes, and I talked about at the beginning, that is proximity to where the searcher is, and of course, what they're searching for. So we've gone over the 4 pillars. And before I touch on this quarterly workshop thing, I am going to veer off and play around with ChatGPT for you guys, because there are some fun. I take ongoing workshops on ChatGPT and all kinds of other tools, because of course things move very quickly. And so give me just a minute, and I'm going to pull up my other window here, and we'll play around with ChatGPT and the prompts. So the trick with ChatGPT, if anybody's used it, are the prompts. So let me put this here, and here, I'll log in, and then we'll. But the nice thing is that there are a lot of people out there that are building out prompts. Okay, can you guys see this window?
Yes, we can.
Yes, okay, great. So ChatGPT 3.5 is a free tool. It works pretty fantastic, to be honest, but it is old information. It is, I believe, from 2021. And ChatGPT 4 is more current, and I don't know the date exactly, but it's $20 a month. So if you are building out content regularly, it is well worth it, and it is faster, and it allows for you to do some more stuff with it. So that's really helpful. So I am going to pull up a fun little prompt. Let's see. Oh, cool. I put all this in the resources guides that I'm providing you at the end, so that you can play around with this on your own and use it for your own business. So tonight we are going to do, I was playing around with this. I'm helping out my son just joined a youth mountain biking team in Tempe. They don't have a website, you know, they need to promote themselves. So we're playing around with some content to help create that website for them, and so that we're not just spinning our wheels trying to figure out what is it that we're going to put on this website. So here is a fun, there we go. So I'm going to put in a prompt. The thing with ChatGPT is being very specific about how you're prompting it, how you're telling it what to do. You can have a conversation with it and go back and forth. And I'm going to have to pull this content. Let's see, right here. So I played around with this yesterday. So I have a bunch of bullet points that were provided by the coaches of this team. You know, it's kind of similar stuff that I get from clients. You know, when we're building a website, they'll say, well, I do this, this is my mission statement, and these are the things that I do, but it's very disjointed. It doesn't provide a lot of messaging that, here, we're gonna paste this in the right. Doesn't provide a lot of information that you can put, like just drop into a website or drop into a blog post or drop into a social media post. So you want something that reads a little nicer. So here, we're gonna pretend we're creating content for a client. And so it talks here about the client. Below, I'm gonna post information I have about them. And then you're going to create something from it. And so all I did is pull, you know, basic stuff, mission statement, some bullet points about the team, etc. So we're going to push create, and we're basically telling ChatGPT what we're thinking about right now and what we want them to think about, and give kind of the background guidelines for what this project is. If you don't give those background guidelines, you're going to get some kind of pretty boring stuff. So this is where this gets fun. So we gave them some background guidelines. Now we're going to throw in this little prompt. It says, based on what you know so far, give me 10 recommendations for famous people whose writing or speaking style would be best to communicate this information on the website. Briefly explain why you chose each style. So this is fun, because we get some kind of interesting stuff. So it's going to be famous people, and it's going to give a little blurb about why it thinks that this would be a good person to be the theme voice for the website. Okay, so you can look through these. Again, this is just an example that you can do for your own brand and create content from your brand. So you can look through these and decide, this is my voice, this is what resonates with me, this is what my brand feels like. Or you can talk back to ChatGPT and say, you're not hitting the mark on this. You need to come up with something else. So what we did is Lance Armstrong came up on one of these, and since he was in cycling, I decided to choose, I played around with a bunch of them. So anyways, we'll put in here Lance Armstrong. And so now ChatGPT is channeling Lance Armstrong style, and it's going to give us a write-up about in the voice of Lance Armstrong. And so again, you take this with a grain of salt, you look through it and go, wow, well, yeah, I like the way that feels, or no, I don't like it, I want something else. So we were really having fun with this yesterday, and we decided to see what Snoop Dogg would say about our youth mountain biking team. And you get a completely different vibe from the Snoop Dogg voice. So that's fun. We also put in Donald Trump, again, a totally different vibe from Donald Trump. And let's see, we did Cardi B, and we played around with a few of them. So I encourage you to play around with them and see, you know, what is the voice for your brand, you know, and because there comes up some really fun stuff. So we're going to stay with Lance Armstrong. And here's the next prompt. So in this prompt, we are going to, so put in the famous person. And we're going to tell it, okay, for the remainder of this project, we're going to do it in the voice of Lance Armstrong. But first, we're going to work on the homepage content. Give me 10 options for hero headline and subtitle that will engage visitors. So we're going to see what it has to say. So here are some fun, just engaging titles, headlines, and subtitles to get. And like I said at the beginning, it's more to get the wheels turning and to get something other than a white screen in front of your face and get some ideas going. So you take any of this information and you cut and paste and you change it. You know, you make it yours. And then here, so here. Of course, on every website, we need a primary call to action. Button, of course, you always want a call to action on your website. You want a button on there, like we talked about conversions. You want to make sure it's clear and to the point so customers know what to do. Object like schedule a consultation. Well, for this particular client, for the bike team, we want to say, let's see, like join the team, okay? Because we want them to fill out a form, and this is the action. The client wants people to fill out a discovery form on the site as the first action. Give me 10 options for this call to action. So we keep going. And ChatGPT is going to come up with some creative ways that we can do call to action on our website, okay? And it's going to get a little bit more engaging than, you know, join our team or contact us. You know, it's a lot more interesting. So let's see. Here's another prompt to help us with our project here. Based on what you know about the client, what other homepage content areas would you suggest? I thought this was really helpful. It really went through and laid out some sections that we need to not forget about for our homepage when we're building out for the team. Program details, coach, you know, some really good information, and some of the stuff we had already talked about, but some of it we hadn't. So I thought it was really helpful. And again, you can, if you're not seeing what you like, you can write back to ChatGPT and say, hold on a minute, this isn't what we're talking about. We're talking about this, and just give it more details. Okay, so if anyone has heard of Donald Miller and StoryBrand, it's a book I highly recommend and getting on his list. StoryBrand is a great way of regurgitate, you know, telling your story about your business on your website in a way that consumers can better understand it, and it puts them in the center of the story. So it's a really great tool. I definitely recommend it. So here we are. Oh, I gotta. So this is the prompt. A lot of times these prompts, they come with the brackets, and you drop in your detailed information in the brackets. And we're going to adopt the StoryBrand approach, okay? And the StoryBrand approach goes through 1, 2, 3 steps, providing a title and a short description for each step. And so we're going to see what they have to say about that.
Britta?
Yeah.
I just wanted to answer one of the questions, get answered in there. Is this the chat GPT, the 4, or which version are you currently playing with?
I am playing with 4 right here, but you can do this exact same thing in 3.5.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes. So here, are some fun ways of reworking the content and the steps. So the Donald Miller story brand approach is all about making succinct 1, 2, 3 steps, telling your customer, take these 3 steps in order to do business with me. And so these are some more creative ways of interpreting those steps. So we have 5. You could certainly take this prompt, and it said 5 options. You could say 10 options. You could say 2 options. You make it yours. So let's see. The next prompt gets more into SEO. So this is talking about, again, we are in one, and even if you're using the free version, the 3.5, you will have, as long as you sign up for an account, which I think it forces you to sign up for an account, but you will have all of this information stored on the left side. So it's really nice. And this is all one big conversation we're having. And that's why we gave it a lot of background information at the beginning. Excuse me. And so it only is talking about this right now. So I'm going to put in this. I'm going to drink a water. Okay, so SEO strategy. Each page is going to have a keyword that I will give you. As they generate content for each page, use this keyword in a natural way at least 5 times. 2 headings. Some might have 2 or more keywords. Okay, let's see. Did I put the oh, okay, the keyword is the next one. So anyways, this is our next. We're giving them some background information. Okay, we haven't given the keywords yet. So here is the next prompt. And this is where, again, we're going to fill in the brackets. We're using Lance Armstrong as our voice. And the page name, let's see, what did I have it right yesterday? I just had it rewrite the about page, and using the keyword, let's see, Tempe, youth, mountain, oops, let's spell it right, bike team, simple. And I suppose we could capitalize that. And let's see what ChatGPT is going to help us rewrite our about page. Again, it has some background information to help us with the mission. It is in the voice of Lance Armstrong, so it is, a little bit more creative. And I think it's a fun way to, get some content moving forward. All right, so now we're going to move on. So you can do that with each of your pages. So you could take in and put that prompt in and rewrite each page individually, or for each of the keyword phrases that you want to write. So here we're going to talk about blog posts. So blogs are a great way to add content, and I'm going to move. I noticed the time is getting away from me here, so I'm going to move right along here. But here are some 5 blog post topics. Give us some ideas on what some good blog posts would be for this website. And I thought this was really helpful because I don't have a lot of time to research content for my son's mountain bike team, and so this was a great place to start for me. Generate blog post titles. So this is the last one here. So we have 5 blog post topics and a short summary. Now we have a prompt. This is our last prompt here. Keywords. So we can put in a few keywords here. It says for each of these keywords. So let's see, Tempe, youth, mountain bike, team, high school, mountain biking, South Mountain bike let's see, mountain bike team. So anyways, I'm just coming up with that off the top of my head. I would definitely recommend that you research, what would be appropriate for your business. And that's what, we would do with a client. We would put some research into it to determine what makes the most sense for their business before just coming up with something off the top of our head. So in the style of Lance Armstrong, let's see, we're gonna do at least 500 words. Title from the above list. So let's see, we're gonna see, here we go. How about this? Trail stewardship. Okay, and we're gonna put this title in here. We really like that title. And cover the following concepts. Oof. Let's see. Trail repair, environmental, I still spelled that wrong. The audience. So in this case, our audience is, let's see, families with high school and middle school mountain bikers. All right. And we're going to see what ChatGPT has to say. So let's see. Oh, blog titles and a short summary of each. Oh, you know what? I combined two of these. I wonder if it's going to get confused. Let me put a hard return in between these on the, there we go. Okay. So anyway, this gives you an idea. You can use the prompts, as needed for your website. I think it's pretty excellent. And there's a lot of ways you can go about. In the resources that I'm giving you, there's prompts for all different things. This was playing around with some different voices, some celebrity voices. You can certainly do it in a more corporate manner. So I wanted to,
question. We have 15 minutes left and we have a lot of questions. I just want to make sure that.
So let's get to that.
Continue going if you need to, but I'm just going to drop them here on the chat and they're in order people ask them. So if you want to start answering some of those. As you go.
And then I will also, let me drop this in. Because this is such an in-depth topic, that's why I'm just moving so quick. I do want to let you know that we're talking about, let me drop this in the chat, putting on these workshops in a more detailed way. Like, that's a pretty big topic. We could put on a workshop that is just specific to AI tools and how to build out and work, where we roundtable ideas and talk back and forth and all different. So I put together a survey to see if people are interested in that. We do it on a quarterly basis. It would be a webinar, just like this, and get an idea of what days and times would work and what topics people would be interested in. So let's see the questions. Oh, and so I have this page up. So I want to thank Google first. I think it's a fantastic organization. If you're not a member, become a member. Also, I am utilizing a space tonight at the ASU Chandler Innovation Center, ACIC, and it's free. You can come here as an entrepreneur and work. There's co-working. You can rent a space. It's a great resource, and they have locations in several places around the valley. So questions, Google Search Console, I'm using WordPress. I keep getting emails about alternate page with proper canonical tags, preventing your pages from being indexed. I don't understand what I need to do to fix this issue. So if you have, you have to go on there, and I can help you out. I might have to look at this as an individual. I can give you a tool where you can look and find what the canonical tag is, page name is for that, for your page, and then you can enter that in. And there is a tool, it's, I'm pulling it up right now so I get the proper name of it. Well, how about I drop me an email? This is my email. Well, I'll just give you drop me an email and I'll give you a link to the specific tool that will help you out with that. For Google Search
Britta,
Console.
And it does look like we did have a couple questions listed right before you posted the link. So we did have, if you just scroll up a little bit, we started with Josue.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it starts with Margarita.
Margarita, okay. And online business. Okay, so online businesses, e-commerce online businesses are not, Google business profile is not meant for that. They are meant for local businesses that service the community. So you can set one up, but you will, you could eventually get dinged for that. So I wouldn't put a lot of emphasis into a Google business profile for just an online business. Now, if you have a local address and you service the local community, now the other piece of that is that, say you are a local business. So for instance, we don't have a brick and mortar store where people come in, but we are a local business that services the community. You can say on it, and we have a lot of clients that have this, you can say on this that you do not have a brick and mortar store for people to arrive, and it doesn't show your address. So you can do that, and you can show the range of locations that you do service. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, so you can hide that home address. There are some settings. You're welcome to drop me an email and I can help you figure out, find that setting, but there is a setting to hide your address. And then you can just show your service area. So we do that for businesses. A lot of our businesses that we work with, they go out and meet with customers at their home, and they don't have a location for people to come to. So Google Search Console. Yes, so Google Search Console, you need to configure it to link to your website. Again, there's a little bit of a learning curve with that. With WordPress, they make it very easy. There are some tools that you can set up, and it will link in directly. And then you take a sitemap that you download. Again, there are tools in the back end of WordPress that allow this to be simplified. Most of the major content management systems have tools, and a quick search can help you. It will walk you through how to use those tools. But yes, it has to be linked up in order for that data to be sent across. Update content if nothing new or needs updating. That's tricky. That's tricky for everybody. You need to come up with, like I was doing for the mountain bike team. I mean, once the website's built, there's really not a lot of information other than maybe they have events and whatnot. But if you look a little deeper, they talked about environmental stewardship, how mountain biking can improve the outcomes of use, etc. So you have to think a little bit outside the box to create that content. Again, start out with making sure you have service pages for each of your individual services, and then also the cities that you service, and make sure you have content for those cities. And then go from there, and that's where ChatGPT and Uber suggest. Answer the Public is another one that just will give you tons of ideas on things, FAQs, how to support topics like that are great blog posts for websites. Let's see, Google Search Console using WordPress. Yeah, so the canonical tag thing, that's a little trickier. Cesar, please send me an email and I can give you some links to some tools that can help you out with that. And then you can resubmit to Google to get that fixed. Lead pages. Ooh, I don't know the answer to that. I have not built any lead pages. I would look on the lead pages support, Sharon, and see what they have to say about your SEO. One thing that comes to mind right off the bat is if that lead page is being hosted somewhere else and it is visible, it could be considered duplicate content. So if you have content over here and then you put content on your website is not considered the first person to have that content. So you're now duplicate content and it's not as valuable on your website. So that would be my first thought. But I would look at lead pages support forum and get some details on that. Accordion menu. Yeah, you can do accordion menus. The thing with accordion menus is they're not as accessible for sure. There's some accessibility issues with accordion menus, those drop downs. So you have to, if your audience needs accessible features on your website, and it's really, I was just talking to a salesperson today about accessibility. Google is leaning in that direction to make all websites accessible. Government websites have to be accessible. You're wanting to make sure that it is accessible because in the future, Google will put that as a ranking factor for sure. They've done that, across the board with other little things. It's like little steps up. The most recent one was like the privacy policy. Before that was having an SSL certificate on your website. So accessibility is kind of that next step, and you do want to prepare for that and make it as user-friendly as possible. And there are ways to do that, especially if you're using a WordPress. WordPress is your tool. Main services blurb and link to individual services page. Yes, so you want to be sure to link to individual services pages. That is really important. You can have a main services page and then link to individual services pages. Definitely, you could do it either way. Now, on your main services page, you want to make sure that content is unique and unique to that page only. And then the service pages each have unique content. Google business profile work for a nonprofit? Yeah, it works. It works the same for a nonprofit. I definitely recommend that you have that up there, and then each business chooses the categories that they're in, and so for nonprofit, you would choose the categories that fit your brand. Whose voice to choose? It's really it's really a mixed bag, whatever you'd like. You really have to get a feel for your brand and how you want to portray your brand. And those celebrity voices, that's just sort of a helpful tool to like get things moving and do something a little bit more unique than just, if you do, I've provided you with a bunch of prompts, but they can be pretty drab, the content that comes from it, and pretty corporate, boring. So that's where that celebrity voice makes it a little bit more interesting and flowing verbiage. What location? Oh, regarding ACIC. Oh, Margarita. Okay, I got your question, Margarita, I think. Yeah. How do you take it down? I don't know what you're referring to, Margarita. Oh, what space?
No, I think she's referring to her address. Remember at the beginning, she asked like her address is showing. I don't know if we went through that question. I'm sorry, but her question was like, my business is showing my home address and I don't want that. So
yeah, well, you have to put in an address, but then you can check a box saying that it is a service area business and you don't want to show your address. And so those are something like that, where we go in depth, step by step, on how to set up a Google business profile and how to make all these changes. That's where like one of these workshops that I'm proposing that I do in the future, where it's just specific to that, and we'd go step by step through how to set things up and then answer questions and help with that. But there is a way to do it. So we talked about questions. We are offering a free local SEO audit for the first 5 people to sign up. And I gotta find the link. Let's see. I have the link here. And I'll drop it in the chat. And then the survey, I think I dropped that link in the chat too. So if people are interested in me doing another webinar, I know I talked to Alyssa about it when we were first planning this webinar, that maybe we would come back and do other ones. And since this is such a broad topic, we could get more specific. And I think I've covered everything. I think this was the last slide. But if anyone else has any other questions, I'm always happy to help. You can reach out to me, you know, on social media, or my email I dropped in the chat, or our form on our website. And I really appreciate you guys showing up. And if anything you take away from this talk is get your Google business profile set up, get your Google Search Console set up, and maintain both of them, because they are both really important pieces to the SEO puzzle. And then play around with ChatGPT and see how that can help you create some content. So
thank you so much, Britta, and thank you so much everybody for those amazing questions. I love how interactive everybody was with just so many great questions. So if you have any questions, her information is here on screen, so please feel free to reach out to Britta. We're also going to be working out in the next few weeks our 2024 agenda, and so we're going to make sure that we bring a lot of workshops that are, you know, connected to this area of interest that, you know, it's where we are all going, right? The artificial intelligence and just it's how the world is going. So thank you so much, everyone. It is 7 p.m. We want to respect everyone's time, but feel free to reach out. We also have Justine and my information on the chat. So if you have any questions about anything as well, please feel free to reach out to us and we're happy to connect you with experts. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you all. All right, take care. Good night.
Bye.